Hello and welcome to our semi-annual Last Call episode, Winter 2025 edition, which marks the end of Season 12 of the Whiskey Tangent podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Ed.
So every 6 months, we like to give ourselves a break from our typical semi-weekly Ed and Scott foolery, humble brag about who's listening to us all over the world, recap all the episode shorts and other things that we've created in the past 6 months, and then provide you with a preview of what's coming up in the next 6 months in Season 13. And of course, there will be tangents. But before we get to all that, Ed's going to kick things into gear with a list of special shout-outs.
Right. First of all, I want to talk about our guest host who joined us on the podcast for this season. Gabe led the way with 7 podcasts after being absent for a little while, so it's good to see Gabe come back. I know that made his fans happy. He was here for an episode and a short, and then 5 parts of the Whiskey Madness tournament. Jeff, piggybacking on our Kentucky trip, was here for 4 podcasts, technically 3 episodes and a short. Michael and Christian joined us for 2 podcasts, an episode and a short. The episode being our beer episode, which was so much fun.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah.
We had so much fun on that. It was an hysterical episode. And mainly because Scott created a little quiz that made us hate each other and fight, which was really fun. Yeah. Siobhan and Sue came on for 2 podcasts, the Christmas bonus and a short. Marty and Rachel were on for 2 podcasts, an episode and a short. And then Anders came on for 2 of the Madness releases, the pre-game, I guess, or the, what did we call it?
Pre-game and wildcard rounds.
That's right. And then round 1, right?
And then round 1, yes, correct.
And then one of our tremendous super fans from Maryland, Jason, bought us a bottle of Little Book Infinite, which contributes towards our attempt to get Freddie No from Jim Beam to come on and talk to us about his Little Book series. And if and when that happens, and I'm going to say when to be optimistic, we will be tasting that along with many of the other Little Book releases.
Absolutely. And thank you, Jason, for that.
And yeah, Jason, that was above and beyond. And thank you so much for everybody who joined us for this season. It's good to see Michael and Christian come back. Anders had been away for a while, and we're glad that he is back healthy and productive as always.
That's right. Okay, so the first thing that we do is the listener stats.
Yay.
Always fun.
I mean, definitely not growing like they used to because we were pretty much maxed out globally.
Right.
Now we creep along.
There's only so many countries left, right?
We're waiting for the moon and Mars to jump in.
All right, so first we do the states, United States. By the time that this comes out, we will have reached 49,000 downloads. We only did about 4,000 last season, which is less than previous seasons, but we did take a full month off in October.
Yeah, we took a month off because we just, after 5 years, Scott needed to retool, and my liver needed to retool, and my stomach, because I did have a little battle with gastritis that I'm still cautious about because you never know when it's going to flare up again.
Yeah. So
occupational hazard, Scott.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You should get compensation for that. Yeah. If Whiskey Tangent had our own health insurance.
Right. I should be on whiskey comp.
Whiskman's comp. All right. So the top 10 states all time. There has been a change at the bottom of the top 10.
All right.
The top 7 have remained the same from last season.
California made a big move last season.
It did.
So like 3rd? Second.
Third, correct.
3rd, right.
Yeah.
And Pennsylvania's still 2nd, right?
Correct.
Right. And fuck Delaware, because they're also the next closest state. But they're smaller, but they can still try harder.
Right. So the top 3 is New Jersey, Pennsylvania, California. Then it goes Illinois, Florida, Maryland, and Texas.
Yeah.
Number 8 has changed. So,
I mean, all those are big states. We expect to be doing okay in Florida, Texas. They have the most potential listeners.
Yeah, and Maryland is close.
Sure.
Yeah. Number 8, Virginia has jumped up 3 spots from 11 into the top 10 to 8.
2 seasons ago, Virginia fell.
They did. They're back in the top 10.
Right, they've come back in the top 10.
That's correct. So 9 and 10 were 8 and 9. They both moved down. It's New York and Tennessee, which pushed Georgia out of the top 10.
Right, but we love you, Georgia. You'll get back in.
Yeah.
We haven't given you a lot of love either. I don't think we've done any Georgia whiskey.
Is there Georgia whiskey?
There has to be.
Has to be.
I mean, they're in the Moonshine Belt.
That's true. Appalachia's down there.
That's right.
That's where the start of the Appalachian Trail.
Sure. Sure.
Which my dad did.
Oh, yes, we know. He's a very impressive man in so many ways. Walking the trail and flying planes, he's boss at.
Oh, my God. And riding bikes.
And riding bikes, evidently.
Cross country.
But can he help you with your homework? That's the question.
This is going back 45 years.
That's right.
Help with my homework. Woo! All right. So the only other mover in the list is Delaware, which Ed cast shade on. They moved up 6 spots.
All right. I apologize in Delaware.
From 21 to 15.
Oh, well, you know what? Good job then. I take it all back, Delaware.
Yeah, keep it up.
Good job. I retract everything I said.
In fact, in the top 5, just in season 12, Pennsylvania was number 1.
Okay.
Then New Jersey, then Delaware.
All right. That's how it kind of should be, but all right. There we go.
Then Virginia and California.
All right. Nice. Good job, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So next we do are the listener stats in the world. Yeah. In season 12, we were downloaded in 34 different countries.
Okay.
3 of which are new.
I can't believe there are 3 new countries. That's amazing.
There are 3 new countries, and they are Iceland.
Okay, good. We talked a lot about Iceland.
Yeah. Slovakia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Botswana.
No.
The African country of Botswana.
Wow.
Has listened to us once.
One time.
And that counts.
They downloaded 1 episode by accident.
That's right.
And then they're like, we're talking, they're like,
I think that's racist.
Oh, then we'll cut that.
Fine.
Thank you, Botswana.
Yeah, thank you, Botswana.
So what's our total country count now? Like 97?
99.
Wow.
We just missed 100. There's one more country out there that's got to listen.
What is there, like 190 countries total?
Yeah.
193, 192?
Some of them are like really tiny also.
Oh, also, we already have like 40 that don't even speak our language, so it's amazing.
It's very true. Top 10 countries of all time, lots of movement in the top 10.
Wow.
Yeah. So the number 1 and number 2, which I'm sure you can guess.
Right. United States.
Yes.
And Canada.
Correct.
But we are putting tariffs on Canada so that they won't be able to listen as easy anymore.
They'll have to pay.
We're for no reason. For no reason, by the way. We're just going to put tariffs on them.
Yeah.
So whatever they download, they have to download 3 episodes to hear 1. So we expect that to go down for no reason, by the way. They've been great.
Yeah, they've been great, but
just to put them on notice.
Yeah. So number 3, we jumped up unbelievably 17 spots.
No.
From 20 to 3.
Okay.
Take a guess.
Germany.
No, it's not one that's been in the top 10.
China.
No, but close.
Korea.
No.
Not Japan.
No. Small.
Laos. Vietnam.
Smaller.
It's an Asian country? You got me in Asia.
Yeah. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Like just an island nation.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wait.
Or a city-state.
Wow.
In Asia, near China.
Oh, Hong Kong?
Oh, close.
Singapore.
That's it.
Wow. Singapore. Yeah, so Singapore, they're fancy.
Yeah. Singapore has downloaded more than episodes that we have. So that means more than one person in Singapore is listening to us.
There we go. Not bad.
So, okay, here's the top 10.
Okay.
After Singapore, United Kingdom fell 1 from 3 to 4.
Yep.
Germany fell 1 from 4 to 5. India stayed strong at 6. Mexico dropped 2 from 5 to 7. Brazil, another one that has shot up into the top 10.
Nice.
They were 24th, and now they are 8th.
Scott, say something in Portuguese to celebrate them.
Obrigado, meus brasileiros maravilhosos.
There we go. That's a shout out to you guys. And
terrible Portuguese.
And that means
means thank you, my marvelous Brazilians.
All
is
right,
what I said.
there we go.
Yeah.
Or if he did not say that, that's what we meant.
And then China dropped 3 spots from 6 to 9, and Israel is now in 10th.
Okay. I mean, great job, everybody, internationally. Thanks for coming up. Singapore, really proud of you.
Mm-hmm. And Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to invite us out for airfare paid visits to go visit Singapore.
If you are listening in Singapore and you're one of the people that I'm talking about, please send us an email at whiskeytangent@gmail.com and tell us, are you an American citizen and you're over there in Singapore? Are you an English language speaker? Do you love whiskey? Like, we will answer.
Right.
And that actually goes for anybody.
Right. And if you're rich, fly us into Singapore and we'll do a show just with you at your house.
Absolutely, we will. All right, so I have 2 movers and shakers further down the list. Australia jumped up 6 spots from 22 to 16. And
Nice.
Bangladesh jumped 30 spots from 72 to 42.
I mean, lots of room there. Bangladesh is a country right like Pakistan and India. And then, India is one of the largest whiskey drinking countries. I don't know if you know that. In fact, they might drink more whiskey than anybody else, I think, Scott.
Like volume? Yeah.
Yeah, because they have a billion people, way more than us.
Yes.
So they drink more whiskey in their country than any other country.
It's crazy.
And Bangladesh is right there, so they're going to catch some overflow. Imagine.
So the top 5 countries just in season 12, the U.S., Singapore, Canada, Brazil, and Germany.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so the next thing we do is the overview of season 12. We did 18 podcasts in season 12, even after taking
a month off. We were still pretty productive.
Yeah, we did 5 full episodes, 5 Whiskey Madnesses, 4 Whiskey Shorts, 2 Whiskey News,
and a partridge in a pear tree.
1 Xmas bonus, appropriately, and 1 last call, which you are now listening to. New whiskeys, we did 21 new whiskeys. We did 16 bourbons, 4 ryes, and 1 flavored whiskey on that Christmas bonus episode.
Oh, right.
The Winter Jack.
The Winter Jack,
Yeah.
right.
So our all-time on-air grand total is now 374.
And so think about how much we've drank off air. We have to be close to 500 whiskeys that we've tried.
Gotta be.
Just going to Doug's house twice gets you 100. Our friend Doug has a massive collection, and I don't remember leaving the last 2 times I went. Scott will verify that.
Yeah.
He just walked me to the Uber. Doug takes great pride in wrecking me.
He does.
He's like, yeah, I didn't remember leaving. I saw you. Your eyes were all good different directions. I'm like, yeah, Doug, that's completely your fault, though. Well, it's my fault. It's, I'm like a kid in a candy store when I go to Doug. It's like, oh, a 15-year this, an 18-year this.
I know.
Oh, there's only 3 of these in the world. I have 2 of them.
And he does.
He does.
He's got everything.
Yep.
All right. So the thing we do after this is the recaps. Excluding news and madness, because madness just happened in the news we don't normally do anyway.
We'll mention the madness in passing.
We will. I have some stats, interesting stats about madness.
And the news, we love the news. We started doing that, I guess, maybe 4-5 seasons ago.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the news.
Yeah,
I like what we do.
That was all Scott. He came up with that himself.
Right, but it was because of you, because you didn't want to drink, and it was like, how can we do podcasts where we don't drink?
Yeah,
we could do the news.
I had gastritis. I couldn't really drink a lot of whiskey, so we're trying to fit in stuff that didn't involve drinking. Like this week, by the way, where we had 11 whiskeys, and last week for the madness we had 12.
Oh, I know.
And the week before that we had 12. And so here we are just sipping on something we've actually never had before.
Oh, yeah.
The 1792 from Barton's, Bottle and Bond, 100 proof, of course. We've never had it. We happened to come across it for $43. I said, well, we need something to drink tonight. I'll buy this.
There was a store pick from Canal's Bottle Stop right near my house.
Yeah, in Marlton, New Jersey. If you want to stalk Scott, Scott's easy to find. He has a blue Honda Civic.
Stop it.
So it's easy to track him. Rarely wears a shirt when he drives.
All right, we'll do the recaps. So the first thing that we did in season 12 was episode 78, Laddie's Night 2, Bourbon Barrel Beer plus Epic Pub Quiz Battle Royale.
Right. It was a great way to start the season.
Yeah, and the guests were Christian, Michael, and Gabe. So after our extended October break, we wanted to kick things off with something fun. So we came up with what's sort of a mix of our past Bourbon Barrel Beer episodes, on which Mike and Christian each appeared on one. And
on different ones.
On different ones.
It's the first time they've ever been on the episode together.
Correct.
And they're very good old friends. They're almost like brothers. Yeah. So that immediately led the fact that they're going to start fucking with each other. Right?
And so we combined that with our Laddie's Night flavored whiskey episode on which Gabe appeared. And because
there's 5 guys, pretty much.
5 guys, and we're all hilarious in our own right, I decided that it would be fun if we're hanging out at a bar, buying each other rounds of beers and playing one of those electronic pub quiz games.
Right.
And it just came out exactly as I intended. One of our funniest episodes ever.
By far.
Yep.
So it's a very personal episode, too, because it goes back to some nostalgic times for us when we were all beer drinkers together.
Yeah, great time. The beers we had 7. The New Belgium Oak Spire Strong Ale, the Dragon's Milk Crimson Keep Red Ale, the Founder's Backwoods Bastard Scotch Ale, Dragon's Milk Reserve S'mores American Imperial Stout, the Founder's KBS Double Oaked Russian Imperial Stout, Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Imperial Milk Stout, and Goose Island Bourbon County brand Backyard American Imperial Stout.
It was terrible this time.
Yeah,
terrible.
And it wasn't good.
It was. We've had good ones, but this was not good one.
It wasn't.
But I will say, we've never, ever had a bad Dragon's Milk.
Oh, yeah.
Never.
Dragon's Milk are excellent.
The S'mores was one of the best beers we've ever had.
Yeah, they have whiskeys now, too. Finished in their beer barrels.
Right, but we'll give it a try. But I'm just saying, if you ever wonder, what bourbon barrel aged beer should I, just get any of the Dragon's Milk. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. So I picked out a bunch of funny moments here, because the whole episode's funny. But remember, we recorded Beer Shade.
Yep.
Because every time Christian, when he would hate on something,
it was very severe.
Beer Shade. There was 3 of those. I'm going to just play them in quick succession.
Okay. It's not unpleasant to drink, let me be clear. If I was drinking this fast, I could get a couple down for sure. Especially with a shot in between to clear the palate, right, guys? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why this would definitely pair with a shot of whiskey for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I like Genesee cream ale better.
Better than this?
Wow.
Beer Shade.
We'll drop that in every time Christian gives shade on a beer. I totally agree too. It's the mouth coating thing that you said, Ed. The film on your tongue after it's gone. It's just a very unpleasant aftertaste.
Yeah. It's not happening for
It's
me.
like beer spit. beer shade.
Yeah. It's a caramely.
Take the caramel.
Yeah. Caramel, like roasted caramel. That's what I'm getting primarily.
Yeah, like it's not sweet like a creme brulee, but like the burnt part.
The top part of the creme brulee. Yeah. But it is creamy.
It's creamy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
creamy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
All right. Creamy. Creamy.
Christian, you like this better than the last one?
He finished it already.
Well, then that's a yes.
It tastes like a hangover you would expect, you know. Beer shade.
Yeah, because Chris would be like, it's like armpit sweat. Like he would just go right to like the trashing.
Exactly. There was ongoing shade between Chris and Mike, just like you were saying before.
Right.
So this particular one slides into you complaining about the randomness of the questions.
Right? Yeah, that's fun.
Question number 2. What is the longest river in the world? Nasty bitches.
The Nile?
The Nile. The Nile is the correct answer.
Oh.
Hold on, quick
I
finger.
have to tell you, we're hitting as quick as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
how.
no,
Not quick enough, bitch.
Ready?
You guys are sore fucking losers.
I know.
Let me tell you. Jesus Christ. Who's making us think about nothing?
Why don't you contribute before you talk
Yeah,
shit?
why don't you?
I didn't hear you answer it.
Don't use the L word 2 questions into round 1, pal.
Oh, my God. All right, ready? Question number 3. What is the capital city of New Zealand? Ed and Son.
That's where you went to?
These are random questions.
Christchurch.
Christchurch is incorrect. The nasty bitches want to take a chance?
No, thank you.
Wellington. It's Wellington.
It is Wellington, yes. It is Wellington. Wait, hold on.
He's like, what goes with a peanut butter blank sandwich? What animal has stripes? What's the capital of New Zealand out of fucking nowhere? It's all right. I'll take it. How many craters are on the moon?
Christian calls out Gabe's perhaps being a murderer.
I don't remember that.
And the last question in round 1. Question number 10. Which gas do plants primarily release during photosynthesis? Nasty bitches.
Chloroform.
Oh, that is incorrect.
Oxygen.
Oxygen is the correct answer.
That's why we're alive.
Jeez, what the hell is Gabe? Like a murderer?
Chloroform.
Jesus.
It's the ether bunny.
The ether buddy. That's great.
It's chlorophyll, jerk.
Okay, so
That's what I meant.
the pub quiz at the end of round 1.
They're strong.
Ed and Son have 5 points.
Duh.
They got 6 correct, 1 incorrect, and the nasty bitches have
Not as many.
2 points.
Ooh.
3 correct and 1 incorrect.
Ooh.
Gabe, we just have to work on our communication, all right?
Just push the button and say the right words.
Don't buzz in and point to me.
Oh my God. So if you want to go back and listen to one episode from the season, that would not be a bad one to listen to.
No.
Even though it has the least to do about whiskey.
Yeah. You and Gabe trade barbs over premature ejaculation.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It is much better.
But I'm not surprised. Dragon's Milk has never let us down.
Yeah, we gave them over 8s each time.
The only thing that's hurting it right now is it's coming in early. So
Yeah.
Sounds like a problem you're familiar with, Ed.
Shade.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I love it.
Nice.
You never cared, Gabe, if I avoided your hair.
I don't have any. Thank you.
Beard
On your
hair.
head, you don't.
It's a flavor saver.
Back's like an Afghan.
There was a whole tangent that we went on about Neil Armstrong. Question number 6. Who was the first person to step on the moon? Oh, Ed sucks it.
Buzz Aldrin.
That was number 2.
Buzz Aldrin is incorrect.
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong is the correct answer.
Damn it.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's the Moon 101. Neil Armstrong, guys.
I had a poster in my bedroom wall of him.
Was he naked?
Yeah, was he?
Was he in a bikini?
Was he wearing a bikini?
He just had a well-placed moon rock.
He gave me his own moon, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I do.
I was like, I thought you went to the moon, not Uranus.
Mike pushed your finger on the buzzer one time to answer.
Right.
And that led to like some hilarity. Which popular video game franchise has released games with the subtitles World at War and Black Ops? Ed and Mike.
Call of Duty.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Ooh, that hurts to get the last two of them.
And I pushed my dad's finger just to get to the buzzer.
Yep.
All right, so
You just fingered your dad?
Wow. I got nothing to come back.
So to speak.
I have nothing to come back with.
on the back too. Mike makes a slavery joke that we all were very tentative about laughing about.
The only one that could do it, and none of us laughed.
No, we did kind of laugh.
Yeah, but reluctantly.
And here it is. Question number 3. Who painted the famous artwork Starry Night? We Like Girls.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, baby.
Van Gogh is the correct answer.
I saw it when I was
I know
in
the song,
Amsterdam.
goddammit.
They are running away.
We're getting steamrolled.
Like slaves.
Wow. I'm glad you said
I'm allowed to say it.
Black.
Right, Mike said it. We should not have laughed.
Right, we should be like, that's a terrible time period in American history. So sorry for everything.
Sorry.
We're going to edit that out.
Sorry.
It's okay. They're not teaching it in schools anyway.
Right. Right.
Shots fired. All right.
Woke.
Exactly. It is. But it's okay now because you can laugh at them because, we've eliminated all that.
Right.
They've got rid of the DEI, so you can laugh at slavery jokes now.
Oh, my God.
There's no rules anymore.
Yeah. One of the beers we didn't like so much, so that goes from boobs to multiple boobs to Star Trek.
For all of us, it's just so strong in one area that it's just
Yeah.
hitting us a little bit off.
Right. It's one note, and it does that note very well.
Yeah, right.
But it
Right.
pounds you with it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Overpowered.
right. It's like
Yeah.
Funyuns. If you like Funyuns, hey, you're going to love it. But for me, Funyuns get a little too much.
You definitely
There's no,
can't come
to
back
me,
to
I don't
this.
see the fun.
No, I'm
It's
not
not-
coming.
It's not one you want to have two of. It's just one and
Nope.
go to a light
yeah,
beer.
Yeah.
It's not like titties. Or
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you can come back
Right.
to those.
Titties, you can have more than one even.
Right,
You go for
right.
two.
Well, usually there's two.
And if you have four, it's an amazing night.
you go two.
You
You
have four
go,
titties, like
you
holy
go
shit!
from
Like how
one
this
titty-
happened, right? Am I in a
titty
am I in a
to titty.
club or am I? If I'm in my house, it's like what happened?
What am I, Frank Sinatra?
Right.
Exactly.
Club tit.
Club titty.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a 3 titty night one time, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, wow.
So let's get back to the. We'll just jump to the
Who are you, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall?
Total Recall.
You're going to take over.
I was like
the entire
9.
world with the army of mutants.
I was like 9 years old. I loved that scene.
All right, fun fact about Star Trek Next Generation. Remember Deanna Troi?
Yeah.
The counselor?
Yep.
She was like always in that like cat suit
Sure.
for a long time.
Yep.
She was originally supposed to have 3 breasts.
Oh, nice.
No
Yeah,
way.
I wish they had done that. Yeah,
they
wish
should
they'd
have
done
did that. 3
Yeah.
nipples.
or double vagina, something.
Well,
something.
like 2 cleavages. 'Cause of the 3
oh my God! Talk about a motorboat.
yeah, right there.
That's a steam.
That's a yacht club.
That's a yacht club.
It's a Marina. Oh my God, her name is Marina Sirtis.
See?
Wow.
That's
In
what.
real life?
Yes.
Shut up.
See?
Her real name is Marina.
See?
Oh wow.
Marina.
Scott, you're geeking out over
I
there.
am totally geeking out. Nerd. Oh, we got D&D.
Star Trek. Somewhere at
Already
home,
we got
Jeff just
Star
got
Trek.
Jeff just popped a semi.
Live long and prosper, bitch.
Well said.
Right, Counselor Troy. I think it was a good decision not to do that. Her 2 that she had were distracting enough.
It's very true. Very true. And then, of course, the epic finish, which was just, I can't believe it came down to the very last question.
Right.
You and Mike beat Gabe and Christian by 2 points
Right.
after 7 rounds of 10 questions each.
After 70 questions, it came the last one. Though it needs to be admitted that Christian threw 2 away just to make fun of my genitalia. In retrospect, I think he will still say they were well spent.
Yeah. He doesn't care about the winning the game. Yeah.
Right, he won the snarkiness.
That's right. All right. So the next thing we did was the whiskey short of Blue Note Honey Cask Rye Quick Taste.
Yeah.
The guests were the same people. We actually recorded it before the episode.
Yeah, we did as a warm-up for the beer episode. Get a little whiskey in us.
Yeah, Christian, Michael, and Gabe. So Gabe had heard about a whiskey we mentioned on the previous news episode, and because it was honey finished, we figured it might be good short to do with Christian and Michael, who are not as into whiskey as the rest of us.
Right, they're shot guys. You know, like they'll do Jameson shots at the bar. You know, they're not purveyors.
Purveyors.
I don't know.
What are you saying?
Isn't a purveyor someone who's like an expert of something?
They're not connoisseurs.
Did I make a word up?
No, purveyor's right. I don't know if you used it in the right context. A purveyor.
I don't think you know what that word means.
You keep using that word. We actually also tasted the Garrison Brothers Honeydew Bourbon because we had just done that. They didn't like that very much.
We like it.
Yeah, we liked it.
That is my 100th whiskey at the lounge.
The funny moments I pulled out of this one, we started off doing Three Stooges intro.
Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast here with another Whiskey Short. And joining me and Scott today is everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Michael comes up with an odd tasting note.
As he did.
I'm getting a summer evening just after you cut the grass.
Nice.
Early to mid-spring.
Not Summer's Eve.
No. No, you douche.
I'm getting a really nice toasted rye bread with a smear of honey butter.
Oh, this
wow.
This how descriptive we get.
Smear of honey butter. Nice.
It smells like a termite infestation in a musty basement.
Wow.
Stop trolling us.
It does not.
I'm getting a Winnie the Pooh honey sandwich mixed with almond powder.
Where does one find a Winnie the Pooh honey sandwich?
In nature, you gotta believe. You gotta believe.
It's in
So,
When I was younger, I'd have a couple honey sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
so they're kicking in, huh, Mike? They're kicking in, aren't they?
Okay. I don't remember any of that, but that's okay. It was a long time ago.
And then the end of the tasting notes leads into the stoicism of Christian and the single battery that the Pineys have collectively. On the finish, savory aged leather, toasted oak, allspice with a lingering note of orange honey blossom. I'm sorry, orange blossom honey.
That makes a difference.
Yeah,
so
that-
much
Yeah, that makes a difference.
I was going to say.
I switched up there.
I like my blossom honey over my honey blossom.
I like my honey blossom.
Oh, okay.
And orange, too.
So last thoughts. Christian, what do you think of it?
I liked it.
All right. It's that insightful commentary is why we flew him in from Zurich.
Zurich.
Gabe?
Great bottle. Hey, I'm happily surprised.
And that's why we hotwired the pickup truck to drive him out of the pines. Just for that cutting edge stuff.
Because as we know, there's only one battery in the Pine
One battery. In fact, he has to drive back there so they can listen to this podcast later in the radio. Right. Drag it in the house.
That was just the prelude to the ridiculousness of the episode 78. All right, so then the next thing that we released was episode 79. This was after our Kentucky trip, Kentucky Road Trip Part 1.
Right.
Dive bars and hot browns and explosions, oh my. And Jeff, of course, was the guest.
Right. So if you really want a little taste of what it's like to visit Kentucky, go back and listen to our Kentucky episodes because we try to bring you there with us as we experience stuff without getting too wrought with details, just giving you the highlights of what we enjoyed and some things we didn't enjoy, like almost being blown up.
Right. So that's not a funny moment, but
No.
It was definitely something that happened. Yeah, so what eventually ended up happening is that there was an explosion about a mile away of a chemical plant that makes food-grade chemicals for, like, soda companies and
Yeah,
stuff.
soft drink stuff.
Yeah, and we didn't figure it out until later that day. So we leave. We're like, oh, I don't know, that was weird.
It was
Whatever
weird.
that was.
Yeah,
Then we get to
strange.
the car and we start driving to the next distillery. And we can't get there because we kept getting stopped because of police activity and fire engines and rescue
every
vehicles.
ambulance, fire truck, and cop in Kentucky drove by us. And I had to do a U-turn at some point in
Yeah.
the middle of all that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I pull over, like, oh, we're going the wrong way. So I do a U-turn, and then I have more cars coming, and I'm in their way, and they're like honking at me. Like, and it's like, and I'm like panicking.
And we're getting angry now. It's like, we can't make it to the distillery. People died. We're such assholes.
Like we had to pull over like 16 times.
I know. So the days in part 1 were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the distilleries we visited on those days were Evan Williams, Angel's Envy, Prohibition Craft Spirits, or Nulu, Kentucky Peerless, Old Forester, Bardstown Bourbon Company, Luxrow, and Heaven Hill. The whiskeys we featured on that episode were the JTS Brown Bottle and Bond, the Old Forester 1910 Old Fine Whiskey, and the Luxrow 4-grain double single barrel bourbon. Funny moments. I couldn't get Jeff's car out of the driveway.
That was funny. That was very funny, and not Scott's fault at all. I will say this. It was the most difficult unparking I've ever seen Scott do. So, so when you pulled into the place,
Jesus,
it was like a weird angle. And then to get out, it was tight. And they had these big stone columns on the grass, 4 inches high. You know?
Yeah.
So it must have taken, I don't know, 7 minutes, which is incredibly long when you're trying to pull out of a spot.
I know. And it was half of it was because of that situation that you described, but the other half was it was Jeff's car. And I didn't want to
your car.
Yeah, I didn't want to scratch it. It was bigger than the cars that I usually drive, and so
Of course, Scott's trying to do it. I'm shouting suggestions outside. Maybe Jeff was shouting stuff inside at him.
Yeah, you guys were trying to help.
And
yeah.
Scott's like, oh my God. Because I don't understand his problem with the front, where the pillars are. Got plenty of room in the back, bro, but he's already up on one of the pillars in the front, but I can't see it. So I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. And he's like, I can't turn. And I'm like, you can. There's plenty of room. It was like that type of a thing.
It's the first day and we're already having arguments. I'm like, is this how it's going to go?
And he's like, I will get out of the car and murder you.
We finally did, and we never parked in the driveway again.
We never parked inside again. We didn't argue, but it was terse for a moment.
It was.
Literally, it was our first day in Louisville.
Yeah. Talking about the distillery cats, because we met several, Jeff revealed that his wife has a particular cat-related fear.
First of all, when the mice know the cats are there, they won't go there. And second, if they are there, the cats find them really quickly. And I understand it because I once had an old fat cat and just laid around the house all day, you know. And then if a mouse came in the house, the little field mouse are fast as hell. They're a blur. If you see them, they're a blur.
Yeah. You're like, what's that?
Yep. And I come down in the morning, there's a dead mouse at the end of the steps. Like, God damn it. Like, how did he do it? It's amazing. And, you know, Jeff is the cat expert here.
Yeah, Jeff's had a lot of cats, so
You know.
yeah, he knows the whole mouse thing. Don't they come like and deliver it to you? Did your cats ever do that?
Yeah, well, sometimes they'll deliver to you in bed, which is something my wife is very fearful about. So when they deliver to you, that's their way of giving you a present and saying thank you.
Yeah.
They like, look what I did. I did something good, right?
Right
Then,
here, this is for you.
It was kind of creepy how Jeff can just talk to cats. Like
Oh yeah.
like for me, they try to swipe me. For Jeff, they're like, what's up with your friend? You know, he's like, he smells like dog.
We went to the Neat Bar, which was this really cool place.
So cool.
Yeah.
Wish I had thousands of dollars when I went there because they
Yeah.
have bottles going back 30 years that
Yeah.
you could drink.
That funny thing that happened there was the half-ounce pour story.
Yes. You can drop that in here.
Yep.
I thought the flavor was very good and I really enjoyed doing it. It cost me like $22 for an ounce, though I could have gotten a half ounce.
Could have got a half-ounce, Ed. So the bartender, she's telling us what we can get. We can an ounce pour, and she says, and there are ways that you can get a half-ounce pour. So we're drinking our ounce pours. I got a Colonel Lee from 1998. Jeff got two things. I think you got a Blanton's Gold and the Takara Red, which were from 2023 and 2024. So they not only had old stuff, but they had new stuff that it's allocated. So Ed says to the bartender, so how do I get a half-ounce pour? And she kind of like shorts out, like, what are you even asking me? She looks at us.
Then I see those two look at each other and I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm like, I know what's coming next. She goes, you just tell me and then I just pour you a half ounce.
And then I stop halfway up.
That's not what she said. She just said, just tell me and I'll just pour you a half ounce.
Yeah.
But Scott like created a whole thing where she's like saying like, well, you see, I go to pour like an ounce and then I stop halfway through. Because she kind of made it feel like you have to buy a flight or something. I don't know. Oh, you
You could just ask me.
yeah, she just
That's what, yeah, you just ask.
So those two are losing it. She seems almost awkward, like she feels like she set me up and didn't mean to. And I'm just like, go
Right.
ahead, guys. That was a good one.
Right, she
Like,
was trying to be as nice as possible. Is your friend slow? Like she's looking at it. We still talk about
it
it.
still lives.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
still
do you
lives.
want a half ounce of that?
How do I get that? I don't know how to do that.
The last funny moment I'm pulling out of this, the first part, is Jeff got belligerent about Ed's driving after getting breakfast one day.
Wait, I don't remember that.
Pro tip, apparently in Kentucky, they sell Krispy Kreme donuts at McDonald's, so I got one.
Right, so Scott wanted a glaze and coffee. They were out of glaze. That's
Damn
how
it.
popular. He went with a chocolate frosted Krispy Kreme and
did.
coffee, and he was quite happy with himself.
I was.
I went with the 2 cheeseburger meal. trying to minimize the damage. I think Jeff ordered like a quarter pounder with cheese meal. And then the only funny part about that was he's in the backseat trying to eat. And we did sit and eat for a little while, but Jeff was only about half finished. So I said, well, we'll finish in the parking lot distillery, I guess. Let's just get there.
Yeah, and then Mario Andretti pulled a hard left. And I got my drink sitting on my lap. Oh. Fries are all over the place.
That was his first yellow card.
I had done well up to that point, and I was like, hold on, but it wasn't really a warning. It was more of an announcement that I knew I was being, well, I had to get into, no.
There's no excuse.
Yeah, there's no excuse
yes.
for it, but I made a decision to get into traffic, so I had to go quickly, or else I would have had to wait another, 18 seconds. You know how annoying that is. And so I heard these expletives coming from the back seat.
Holy fuck! Jesus fucking Christ!
Justified belligerence. Jeff's mad at Ed's driving by proxy edition.
Oh, my God, that's right. And all his food went everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
It was a dick move. And if you're listening, Jeff, I know you are.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, he's okay. He still likes you.
He recovered.
Yeah. Part 2, we did Thursday and Friday, and then sort of like our overview of our whole entire experience. The distilleries we went to on Thursday and Friday were Willet, Jim Beam, Four Roses, and Wild Turkey. I mean, how iconic were those 2 days?
And the highlight, of course.
Well, right, the dinner. Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Right.
The whiskeys we tasted, Basil Hayden Malted Rye, the Four Roses OESV Barrel Strength Single Barrel Bourbon, and the Four Roses OBSK Barrel Strength Single Barrel Bourbon. Funny moments is when Jeff personalized his Knob Creek bottle in a very particular way.
Right.
Yeah, and then when you get to the guy at the end, and he's got the big barrel of wax in front of him, the black wax, he dips it in, and then twice he dips it in one for the main one, and then dips just the top of it in, and you can put your thumbprint on it or put your nose on it. And Ed and I put our thumbprints on it, but Jeff decided that he was going to put his teeth into it.
Yeah, because I cannot be undone, of course. I'm such a friggin' asshole.
And the people who do this for a living were like, we've never seen that. And I'm like, what?
Jeff did something they've never seen before.
I was like, well, my idea was to take my out and put it in there. So what reaction would that have gotten? Restraining order.
Yeah, and I did it, and there was no reaction from Ed and Scott until I turned around, and they're both looking at me like I'm a psycho.
I was just enjoying it, but I was
enjoying it too. It's like, oh, he's really doing it. Because I thought you were doing it.
I thought you were joking,
Yeah.
and then you actually did it. Then I'm like, oh.
Oh, well, there's his teeth marks. Okay.
Yeah. I guess Jeff was like, penis or teeth? And he went with teeth. Either one would have been frowned upon. You've stumped him, Jeff.
And then, of course, the Jim Beam dinner. Jeff got so buzzed up that he forgot he ate his dessert.
Distiller shared number 7, Worcestershire cask finished, which I was disappointed in.
That bourbon was good, but it was strange.
Yeah.
I like the bourbon better than the cocktail.
And then the cocktail was made with that whiskey, and then what else?
Chinar.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's an artichoke liqueur.
See, at this point in time, I was plastered.
Yeah.
He was.
I mean, Fred No was smart enough to stay away from it.
That's not true. I have multiple pictures of Fred No hugging you.
I saw those pictures. I looked so terrible.
Oh.
So the dessert was persimmon.
Delicious.
Semi-Frito, which was like a spiced...
Cookie.
Like a shortbread or something. A cookie.
Wasn't it like a gelato?
Yeah, with
right. The semi-Frito was like a gelato.
Oh.
And then it was paired with a shortbread cookie and caramel.
So did they serve that to me? Or did someone eat mine?
No, they served it to you. You don't remember eating it.
You ate it. You ate it.
You definitely ate it. It was delicious.
Yeah, you loved it. Just for the record, you loved it.
Okay. Thank you. Glad I loved it.
Yep. Forgot a lot of things. Including how to walk at one point. Scott had to be like, put one foot in front of the other. And soon you'll be heading for the car. Yeah, so we got to meet Fred No and Freddie No, father and son master distillers of Jim Beam. It was
awesome time.
Probably the highlight of the trip for us.
$275, but worth every dollar.
Oh, I mean, worth every dollar. When you think about what we pay for tastings around here, to be able to meet them, have, 4 or 5 courses of food,
Yeah, 5 courses of food,
6 cocktails, and 6 tastes of
the whiskeys that went into the pot.
And the whiskeys
cocktails.
were conceptual, like
Yeah, they were weird.
prototypes. Distiller choice number 1, distiller choice number 5. Like,
Yeah.
These were only made at the distillery in a lab somewhere and featured in this dinner. We couldn't have picked a better dinner because we tasted whiskeys that maybe will never come out.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah.
So after that, we did the Christmas bonus episode, the Winter Jim versus Winter Jack quick taste, and the 12 deaths of Christmas.
So you yawned. Yes, absolutely.
The guests were Siobhan and Sue, of course, because our annual Christmas time tradition. I ordered a whiskey that never arrived, so we had to go with my backup plan and taste the 2 winter-themed whiskey expressions from the big dogs, Jim Beam and Jack Daniel's.
Did that whiskey ever come in?
No, in fact, I had to get my credit card to cancel the purchase, and they actually did. So basically, I got scammed. Yeah, but I got the money back, so it's all good. It was a new
good.
It was a new riff, by the way. They have a winter reserve something.
And not that new risk scammed us. It was some person or group.
Yeah, it was some person. Yeah. Funny moments in this. We had a tasting note that led to my Tinder profile and a Pinocchio joke.
On the finish, you have baking spices, clove, fennel, an off-brand peanut butter.
Off-brand peanut butter.
With a mildly woody warmth that gives us a pleasant final impression.
Okay.
Sounds like they're throwing shade at a store brand somewhere.
Off-brand woody warmth. Scott, isn't that how you try to,
The woody warmth.
Isn't that on your Tinder profile?
Calls it doing the Toy Story. The woody warmth.
I'm Pinocchio. Tell me a lie. Then the same set of tasting notes leads to the downfall of the podcast and Sue earning badges like a Girl Scout. Off-brand peanut butter.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. It's
generic.
The generic aisle.
Yeah, but it's like not. But I've never seen them in the store. It's like Sun Bright peanut butter or something like that, or it's like, yeah, you're all nuts peanut butter and stuff like that.
You're all nuts.
And my uncle's nuts peanut butter.
Oh my God! Yeah. Wow.
And then that's how the show was brought down.
Wait, what's on Deadpool, Counselor?
Scoutmaster Steve or whatever his name is.
Wait, is there a badge earned in this somehow?
Well, you can earn one later.
Wow. Badge of courage.
We did
bravery.
Oh my God, she earned her pepper spray badge today. It's so Sue.
So we
So sue me. Please sue me. Please sue me.
You know, people think that's her. That sound effect that I drop in.
Honestly, it could be her.
Yeah, people think it's her.
It could be her.
Next time she's here, I'm going to have her do it,
And
and
then
then we'll use that from now on.
And honestly, it's very Sue-like.
It is.
I think at one point I thought it might have been Sue. Then Scott's like, no, it's not. I'm like, wow, I really thought it was.
All right, so we make fun of the name Winter Jack. You can figure out where that went. All right, so let's move on to the second one we have, the Jack Daniel's Winter Jack. So we haven't done a whole lot of Jack. Oh my God, Winter Jack?
Wow.
Are you laughing at that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You know, when it's cold and you're sitting,
it's
and
cold.
you're
and
under the blankets trying to stay warm.
you're giving yourself a Winter Jack.
You got a couple seconds to kill. You know, dial up Sue's Instagram.
Jack Daniels continues not to sponsor us. Another Sue's sexy reading leads to hilarity, as it always does.
Yeah.
You'll never regret being prepared. Our heartwarming Tennessee cider. Oh, let me tell you, it's also marketed as Tennessee spiced apple punch.
Ooh.
And let me add.
Okay.
Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Should always.
Always.
Never.
Be in.
No, always, Siobhan.
Always be enjoyed with friends and loved family members.
But
It
not
is-
family lovers, because that's just wrong.
Oh my God.
Why does it always have
I was making an incest joke,
right
not an
off-
underage joke.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that
see.
because that makes it better. That makes it so much better.
All right, so continue.
Wait, I have to start from the beginning.
No. Just skip to the end. Skip to the end.
Okay, so wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's only 7 words, Sue. You can do it.
I caught the vapors.
Yeah. And then, of course, the 12 deaths of Christmas. I compiled this list of people who died on Christmas Eve, Christmas, or the day after Christmas. And the 12 I chose were George Michael, the other George Michael, Harry S. Truman, Gerald Ford, Jack Klugman, Charles Durning, Reggie White, W.C. Fields, Eartha Kitt, Charlie Chaplin, James Brown, and Dean Martin.
And Alf.
Alf?
I don't know. This is
He's not a real person.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why it's not really real.
I'm not going to drop in things to that. You can go listen to that. There was a hilarious moment in all of those.
Yeah.
If I did that, then you just might as well listen to it.
Each one was funny.
So go listen to it!
Random Belligerents Classic Edition.
I don't think we've ever had a random belligerents on the last call.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we have. I don't know. We just did. There we go. The next thing we did was the whiskey short with Siobhan and Sue again. The Knob Creek Bourbon Times Rye.
Yeah, very
quick
interesting.
taste. Yeah. Interesting whiskey. Very strange.
Yeah, we talked about getting cask strengths of both and reproducing the cask strength, and we're like, that's not.
Yeah, like we do so much forced drinking.
Yeah, it's like enough drinking falls into us. We don't have to go create episodes.
This was Knob Creek Bourbon Times Rye. It was the combo of their iconic Bourbon Times Rye in a very unique way. We liked it, but we didn't really. Funny moments. As usual, it starts off the rails right away.
Yep.
As I get suspended by HR.
Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, and welcome to 2025, the first podcast release of the year. And today we have something really special. Joining me as always is Scott.
Hey everybody.
And also the 2 people that you heard on the Christmas episode are joining us again for this quick taste. We have the Whiskey Pixie.
Hello.
And the Mayor Siobhan.
Hi.
They're so dainty. They're so quiet at the beginning
know.
episodes, and then by the end they're completely out of control.
Then you get a couple of drinks in them, and everything's
wow.
Oh my.
Wow.
Oh.
So today we have a very interesting, I'm just trying to go right past that somehow.
HR here.
Right. And we all have
Scott has been suspended.
Right. So now I have to do it by myself the rest of the episode because Scott's on HR suspension.
Oh, Siobhan smells something perfumey, which Sue thinks is her, and then that leads to the crickets, as it often does.
As it does.
Yeah.
You got to pay them union wage, so you might as well use them.
I'm getting something that's perfumey.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's probably the rye.
That's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
That's
It smells
Sue.
lovely in here.
Stop, you're sniffing me.
I know you sniff me.
I know you sniff me.
I know you sniff me, but
I was wondering what word
I
we were
know
going to use.
you sniff me.
I know you sniffing me.
I know you sniff me at night. And then we have a couple of off-color jokes about how many inputs Sue can take.
Oh, God.
This is you. This is your doing.
No, I can't believe that was me.
Oh, really?
You adding ginger ale? Like, what are you doing?
I mean,
you could
this
do
would be
that.
really good with ginger ale, too.
Yeah.
And, maybe even ginger beer.
Because of those Christmas spices that you were saying, Sue.
right,
Put some
right.
ginger with
Ginger
that.
beer. Yeah.
Sure.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's so general.
Right, that's not really a cocktail. We call them mixed drinks.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a
So the
word for
difference
mixed
is when you're just taking a mixer and an alcohol or whiskey, then it's a mixed drink. A cocktail normally has a couple ingredients.
Yeah, usually 3 or more, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bitters
And
and
I'm-
liqueurs
I'm
and
a
other
big
things.
fan of the 2 to 3 ingredient drink.
For sure.
Yeah.
So,
It's simple.
yeah.
Yeah, she likes to put at least 3 things in. Yeah,
Yeah.
like she's.
A little bit of whiskey, and here we are.
All right.
Sorry, Steve. No, I believe it.
All right, so the next thing we did was episode 80, Kentucky Tried Cocktails. This was with Marty and Rachel, and these were 5 cocktails that we tried in Kentucky.
Yes,
and tried to recreate
right,
here.
or some variation of the above.
Yes, we did the Little Italy.
I call it the Lily.
Lily, which we had at Willett, the Old Owl cocktail, which we had at the Old Owl Tavern, the Giovanna that we had at Angel's Envy,
Yep.
and then 2 from the Jim Beam's dinner, Jim Beam's dessert cocktail that had the persimmon syrup, and what I ended up calling the Bestisher, which had Worcestershire syrup in it.
That's the one we've improved on.
Yes. Yeah, Anders and I collaborated to create a really interesting and delicious cocktail.
Yes.
Funny moments. For this, Rachel gets distracted during reading, I get inappropriate, and Marty slaps me for the first time.
Lillet Blanc is made from a blend of Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc grapes, fortified with fruit liqueurs made from sweet, bitter, and green oranges, and aged in French oak for 1 year. Ooh, oak. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, for 1 year. Sorry, I got distracted.
She got distracted by the wood.
I know. Oh, God, I did say that. Oh, my God. Okay.
Sorry. Continue.
For 1 year before bottling.
Marty, strike him.
Although,
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
She has one more sentence.
back on target.
Okay.
Although, like
Star Wars now. Stay on target.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Thank you for getting that.
I just slapped him now just for effect. And because I like it.
Yes.
And he likes it too.
Dropping Sue right there. Slap number 2 happens when you talk about batching frozen Manhattans with Rachel.
Yes. May I'm going to the house and me and Rachel are going to batch frozen Manhattans for the summer.
Marty, you're going to allow that? Sure. You're going to let that happen?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. He doesn't mind me batching
Have
Manhattans.
some if he's good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Batch all you want.
That's all you want with my wife.
That doesn't sound good.
Marty, slap him again. He needs me. Got to keep in line over there.
You would think that was
It's a married woman, Scott.
I'm out of control. I am out of control.
Right. That's still the best summer cocktail we've ever done.
Yeah, that was delicious. Slap number 3 happens when I combine Rachel's cookies with one of the cocktails.
Yeah, but it's like kind of you got that cinnamon, but it's not the sweet cinnamon. It's kind of
Taste it with Rachel's cookies.
It's a rum cookie.
It's a buttered rum almond cookie.
So I'm gonna pour some into her cookie. I'm gonna pour some of my cocktail into her cookie.
Oh my God.
Am I gonna have to?
Oh, you're gonna slap me again?
Is Mike? Why do you have to slap a bitch again?
Third time tonight.
That was the most deserved one, probably.
It probably was. The history of the sherry, because one of the original ones, it was a sherry finished bourbon. So I dropped some sherry into the cocktail to replicate that, and it had a lot of sexual innuendo in that history. And war with France cut off England from their supply of Bordeaux. So the Spanish Duke of Medina saw an opportunity to promote his country's sweet wine as a replacement. By this time, it had become known as Sherris Sack, no joke said, or just sack, from Spanish verb sacar, meaning to withdraw.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're lucky I was leaned back in my chair listening and not near the microphone.
As in withdrawing wine from the barrels.
What?
Not what you're thinking.
Wait, is this wine or tea? I'm thinking of a tea bag here. No? Okay,
wow.
Go ahead.
Wow. Teabagging.
I know.
And for a long time, sales to England continued to grow every year until Henry VIII's divorce from the Spanish princess, Catherine of Aragon. This ultimately led to a conflict during which Sir Francis Drake set fire to the Spanish Armada in the port of Cadiz and absconded with nearly 3,000 sherry butts, which only increased England's...
He said butts.
Where I lost my place. Sherry butts, which only...
Are you doing this on purpose?
No. Well, maybe yes. A discussion of ginger basically leads us to implying that we had a foursome and that you filled their pool with dark and stormies.
I make candied ginger. I made that for you guys. I have ginger.
I still have some. I take a few every night.
And the bourbon 5 spice
so
cookie
good.
has chopped candied ginger.
Bourbon
and,
5 spice
and the dark and stormy, right? With the all those things. The ginger comes out. I always have ginger root in my freezer. Microplane it into a lot of things that we make.
I have a can of ginger beer in the fridge. I'm just gonna pour it all over all of us before we leave.
You all do not need to know about that.
Don't they, though?
That's what the surprise was.
Yeah, that's a surprise. It'll be on Instagram. Check us out.
The surprise is I've emptied Marty and Rachel's pool while they're here, and I'm filling it with ginger beer.
As long as
It cost $12,000, but it's so worth it.
Cannonball!
Half the pool is Gosling's dark rum, and half the pool is ginger beer.
Oh, man.
So jumping with your mouth open.
Yep.
Jumping with your mouth open. That's what she said.
Cooper's floating on a raft, all grins. Ooh, that would be so much fun.
Right, wouldn't it?
It would. It would be expensive, but it would be worth it.
And then Marty took issue with Rachel texting you something specific.
I don't remember anything about that.
Yeah.
That Giovanna, I
Yeah.
can make it right now because I brought
could
half
make
those
it.
ingredients.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the ease of that.
Can you send me that? Text me that? Thanks. Okay.
Yep. So that's all I got to say.
What are you texting him?
You don't need
A drink pick.
You don't need to.
Drink.
A drink pick.
That's the new thing.
The nude thing.
The nude thing.
Drink pick. So dumb.
I know. The thing we did after that, we did a bonus short, the Pinhook Vertical 9-year quick taste, of course, with Marty and Rachel.
Which has been one of the tremendous subplots of the podcast over the last 4 seasons or so.
It really has. So this was the 5th ongoing series with Marty and Rachel. They brought us yet another yearly expression in this experiment in aging. It's always exciting to see what an additional year has done to the same spirit. Whiskeys we tasted were the 7, 8, and 9 year. Funny moments, we make the requisite joke about you surviving long enough to taste the last expression.
Right. It's my goal to live long enough to taste year like 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah. And even in fewer words than last time, a reminder of what this vertical series is. In 2019, Pinhook bought 1,350 MGP bourbon barrels, bottled 100 or so barrels each year, starting with the 4-year expression, and will continue until they run out at the 12-year mark in 2027. Which is really just around the corner. We only have 3 more expressions left. Will the podcast survive?
I was going to say, well, if anything, just to keep the podcast alive for that, and me alive, I feel like you might all gather at my bed to just bring me the last morsel. And right before he goes, just have a little sip of it. Thumbs up, everybody, thumbs up. And then the light opens up from heaven. I just float away. Best expression ever.
Boy, that's presumptuous that you're going to heaven.
Shade. Or I'll be alive in 3 years. Both of them are taking a leap.
After Rachel's discovery about how many barrels Pinhook actually has left, that led to the crickets getting new personalities.
I just quick checked on this. They have 700 barrels left. So they have been pacing it, right? So it's not like as they go, they're going to have less and less. Now the barrels, because there's going to be more evaporation, they're probably not going to be as full. But, you know, we're more than halfway through and they have over half the barrels.
How did you check that?
Yeah.
I just looked it up and it said there's 700 barrels left. Breaking bourbon.
Breaking bourbon. Okay.
Approximately, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bro. He would know. They got inside.
The little
things.
blurb.
Yeah.
So this release consists of 100 barrels with approximately 700 barrels remaining to create the final 3 batches.
It's the final batches. Let the
Final Let the crickets go.
They got to get paid their prevailing wage. It's like $85 an hour for the crickets on the
Well,
floor.
like the Pinhook price, their wages didn't go up.
Did you get their jackets made yet? Those little jackets?
Little jackets for little crickets.
They have little leather jackets.
Yeah, they're badasses.
They need to stay in their lane. We don't need them find new characters. Just do what we tell you. Brickets and Gabe need another place.
And of course, there's the long convoluted tangent that led from Hemingway Rye to Marty chanting, "Go Hitler."
Yes, and that sounds worse than it is.
Right.
Nothing about Marty is anti-Semitic or pro-Hitler, but he told an hysterical story. Maybe one of Rachel's protein pancakes with the cinnamon syrup on it.
Just a shot to pour in my coffee.
No, you could pour this over cereal,
You
right?
could, right over your Golden Grams.
Ooh, over oatmeal.
If I recall, there was a little Hemingway in a coffee that morning.
There was. We did a little Hemingway. That's right. My first joke when I was like young, like a teenager, I'd go to school, be like, "What'd you get for Christmas?" And I'd be like, "I got some clothes, some socks. I got a Henway, a hat, a leather jacket." Wait, what's a Henway? Oh, about 4 pounds. I still love the joke. And people don't. People don't. Just for the record, they don't love the joke.
It's like Laurel and Hardy jokes. It's like prohibition jokes.
Laurel and Hardy jokes. I wonder which one you would be, Scott.
No, I mean, I guess the question is which one you would be.
No, that's what you're insinuating. All right, I guess I have to get a little Hitler mustache too, which is no longer allowed.
Wow.
Well, he had one. I didn't make it up.
Yeah.
That was before World War II,
I understand,
right?
but now...
So maybe he had a Hardy mustache.
Yeah, but I can't get one and call it a Hardy mustache.
No, but Hitler had a Hardy
Hitler
mustache.
had a Hardy mustache.
Yeah.
I like it.
I got to tell you.
I did not see that coming.
I got to tell you, it's pretty impressive if not only you can take and destroy a name, Adolf, no one's ever going to be Adolf again, and a mustache. Can you imagine if someone named their kid Adolf ever?
Hey, do you guys ever read Trevor Noah's book? You know, he's from South Africa, right? And now this is when they're super young. One of their friends was named Hitler.
Oh, God.
Like a last name?
No, first name. They didn't name him that because of Germany. They named it because it's a strong name. He goes on kind of explain this.
I think it
But
was a
anyway,
street name.
they end up being some kind of like DJs or something, and they end up doing like a, what's the Jewish,
Bar mitzvahs?
It's
a
at
bar mitzvah or
Yep.
something.
Oh, no.
Right. And like, again, they don't associate that name to anything. It's just they're doing
I'm
something.
assuming that
and-
at that point they don't know world history at that point.
No, and they were young. I mean, they were like in their teens,
They had
and,
some other
and
things
so
to
the
worry
book goes
about,
on
yeah.
like they're
Right.
at this thing, and they're DJing, and Hitler goes out and he starts dancing. So they're all going, "Go Hitler, go Hitler!" And needless to say, they got
Silence
basically
all around.
run out and didn't get paid for the gig, and yeah.
So the next thing we did after that was episode 81, Will It, Bourbon times 5, Will It Be Good?
Right, so we finally did a deep dive on Willet, a distillery that I've been a big fan of. What's weird about Willet is their expressions are hidden out there. Like you'll walk through a liquor store and you'll see Willet bourbon, the fancy bottle. You'll see Willet rye. You'll be like, all right. And then you might know that Noah's Mill and Rowan's Creek are also Willet if you're educated.
If you know.
But then there's also Kentucky Vintage, Kentucky XO, Johnny Drum, Old Bardstown Estate, and Bardstown Bottle and Bond.
Yeah.
And if you go to the gift shop, you might get a speakeasy too.
That's right. And it only says Will It on the very small print back of it.
Right. And I don't think it says it on Noah's Mill and Rowan's Creek. Did they make up their own distilleries for those
Before it did, now it does.
Okay. So back in the day, it used to be like Noah's Mill Distillery.
When they were sort of sourcing
Yeah.
and stuff, yeah.
Right.
They were a great distillery. It was a
Yeah.
really fun tour.
Yes.
Lots of good whiskeys.
Yes.
We had a great time there. Of course, Jeff was on that episode with us because he
Sure.
went to the Willett Distillery
Yep.
in Kentucky. The funny moments. This is where your claim on half of my bottle of Speakeasy started,
Right.
Which leads into how you get me to do all the editing.
What was the price point on this one?
$40 also.
Oh, wow.
We definitely should have bought it. I wanted to buy one, but Scott was policing me, which I told him to do. But I'm like, we'll never get it again. I'm like,
Scott.
He's like, you always do that. I'm like, I know, but I really want it. Don't buy it.
I don't know. I think that's fake news. I don't think that happened there.
It absolutely did happen.
It definitely happened at places. I don't know if it happened there.
I wanted to buy a bottle of this, so half this bottle is mine, in my opinion. I will give you $20 before we get that. I just Venmoed you $20. It's half my bottle, and we're drinking out of your half right now.
God damn it, you motherfucker.
Your half is down to a quarter. Why you out?
You just got Gabe.
Hey, what's the big idea?
No, Gabe is being interrupted. Scott is being gypped out of his whiskey.
Oh my God! As if that ever happens. Scott does pretty good around here with whiskey. Don't let him tell you different. Just between you, don't tell him. If I keep him on a nice steady buzz, he does all the editing and doesn't ask a lot of questions. He's like, I don't know, and I don't feel like doing it. Oh, wait, I bought you this bottle while I was out today. Why don't you just finish the rest of this tonight?
Oh, well, that's so nice. I guess I'll do some more editing.
Oh my God, where does Four Roses Sing About come from? There you go, big guy. Just there you go. Next thing you know, another year goes by and...
You just keep Scott plied with whiskey. Exactly. He'll do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Wait.
Right. I'm like, if there's a high proof bottle that doesn't hit me as good as Scott, I'm like, oh, you can have this one. And then I'll know he'll drink it. He'll get all buzzed up and just go into edit mode like a little zombie, like somebody you keep on heroin. So they keep measuring all your Coke out for you or something like.
Yeah, thank you, sir. They have another. We're talking about getting you so drunk that if you fall, it would be a problem, which leads to your story about Andre the Giant.
2 years ago, when we lost, I got a little bit inebriated. Though I am a pleasant drunk, you should know that.
That's true.
I just, while we were losing the game at the end, I was just telling everyone how much I love them.
Yeah.
And then Scott led me home. Problem is, if I fall, then it's the get me up thing that's a bigger problem.
Right.
I heard a great story about when Andre the Giant passed out in the hotel lobby, like 12 feet from the elevator. Andre the Giant is a famous drinker. Like, he's drank 118 beers in one night.
He was an incredibly large human being and could put away alcohol.
At an illogical level.
Yeah.
Like, he could drink bottles of whiskey, cases of wine. But one night, evidently, it caught up to him. And on his way up to his hotel room, he passed out at about 3 a.m. in the lobby. Hulk Hogan was telling the story. He came down in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning, to get some breakfast, 7:30. And Andre the Giant is just laying there in the middle of the lobby, and it was just walking around him like he's just immense, right? He's like 7'4", 470 pounds, right?
You can't move him.
You can't move him.
No.
He's just he's just laying there. And he's like, yeah, just walked by him, got myself like a muffin and coffee, went back up to my room. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, that's not me, but yeah,
right. One person.
Yeah, no one's getting me off the ground. And there's only been a half a dozen times in my life where I've been out in the world where that was possible. Unfortunately, Scott's been with me 4 of them. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I was actually telling a story about like the first time I was really drunk in public, except for the first time I got drunk in public when I was like 19 and actually did fall a couple times. Scott and me went to our first, I mean, you could hear this story if you want to go back to like episode 3.
Yeah.
We went to the first whiskey tasting and I was not prepared for it. Kid in a candy store, drinking everything I could get my hands on.
People free pouring us.
Yeah. They had girls there like you have at a car show.
Yeah.
And they were just pouring me like 2 ounces, 3 ounces, and I'm drinking 14 different whiskeys.
Right, you go, hi, and they're like, hi. I'm like, have you want some? Yeah. She's like, now you're drunk.
The thing I remember most about it is we went outside to get into the car of our designated driver, and I knock over this valet parking sign that was made of solid metal.
Yeah.
And it fell, and it made the loudest noise you can imagine.
People inside the restaurant.
The entire wall of glass windows
Yes.
where people were eating, everybody like whipped their heads around to look out into the parking lot at what made the noise. And I'm just standing there looking at them like, yep. What do you want to do about it? All this funny part is I was trying to get some in my car and Scott's watching me like teeter. He's like, if Ed falls,
I'm not going to pick him up.
I don't know what we're going to do here.
Yeah.
And I didn't, but I did pass out in a John Bonham seated position. Had anything gone wrong, it would have been a bad night.
We pushed you over. You were fine.
I don't remember.
And the last funny moment I pulled out of the Willett episode, Jeff's prophetic prediction about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He was adamant that we were going to win. And
big.
Fuck if we didn't.
Jeff, you've been there twice. How do you feel about it?
The only tasting note.
Put your penis away and just tell us how you feel about it.
The tasting note we missed was that the worst of the bourbons taste like the tears of Andy Reid.
My God.
Because we're going to fuck him over on February 9th.
Wow.
Throwing down the gauntlet.
Wow.
I love it.
I was not ready for that at all.
I love it. He's wearing his Eagle sweatshirt and everything.
Right.
And this will come out actually before the Super Bowl, so we either keep it or we don't.
Excellent.
Right. Well, he said it, so keep it.
All right.
And then if he has to eat some crow, he'll be on 3 months later, so it won't be a problem. All right. So for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, if you've never drank Willett, you've been missing out. I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
I'm Jeff.
Go Birds!
Jeff was never more confident.
I know. Just so good.
So good.
Just 2 more. The next thing we did with Jeff, the 2XO Kiowa Blend Quick Taste. Another flashback to our Kentucky trip.
Yes.
But this was our first short that we did about an expression that we tried in Kentucky.
Right. So we were in the Old Owl Tavern,
Yeah.
which is owned by Dixon Dedman, who founded Kentucky Owl, thus the Old Owl Tavern. And he had moved on to 2XO. And while we were in the Old Owl Tavern, they're like, try this one. And we're like, yeah. There was the American Oak and there was that one. And they were really close. The Kiowa was more expensive and I liked it better. So for my birthday in January, Scott bought me a bottle of it. I never got to try it until that short.
And then we went right into the vault because we decided then and there that it had to go into the Madness tournament.
Right.
Which, spoiler alert.
It's a good thing it did.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
The funny moments of the short, you out yourself as having a fast finish, which leads to Jeff getting something from an older man. The name is derived from the phrase 2 times oak, owing to the fact that at least some of the whiskey from every blend will be treated to some form of secondary oak maturation for up to 12 months, typically by inserting 8 to 10 foot charred oak chains, which increase the liquid's exposure to oak, leading to faster finishing.
No one finishes faster than me, or at least I've been told. We talk about faster finishing, you think of Ed.
Oh, wow. Just outing yourself there, aren't you?
Hey, man, I got things to do. I can't be there all day.
Gotta be quick. We were just talking about, don't waste a boner.
At our age.
At our age.
Don't waste a boner and don't trust a fart.
It's good advice. Jeff got that from an older guy when he was younger.
The expression, not a boner.
Wow. God. All right. Continuing.
And also, probably my best rant of the season, too.
Right. Well, we'll get to that. Okay. Jeff's peach tasting note makes me sit on both our testicles. Yeah.
Playback, I don't remember that at all.
And absolutely oak. I mean,
yeah.
this is 2XO, but it's definitely prevalent.
But it's a very sweet oak. It's not coming in and ruining the sweet nose.
It's not a charred oak.
No.
Yeah.
It's just woody smelling.
A little bit of peach.
Ooh, peach. Yeah.
Oh, peach.
Ooh, peach. I don't know why I said it like that. Oh my God, peach. I just sat on my testicles. Sorry.
No, they were mine. Oh, God.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What's wrong with us?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been wondering what's wrong with us for the past 20 years, 30 years, however long we've known
We
each
did
other.
this whole podcast just to show the world what is actually wrong with us.
I know.
We're like, you know what? There's so much wrong with us. Why are we containing it to just ourselves?
Yeah. And then finally, you go on that rant about skateboarders and surfers right here.
Here's what I have a problem with. Skate culture and surf culture is not culture. It's a hobby, okay? It's just basically an excuse to smoke pot and be a bum. And it's fine if you want to do that, but don't act like it's your religion or something. Don't act like it's something noble. You sit there in a flannel and your fucking cargo shorts. You ride on the fucking supermarket railing. You land in the parking lot in front of people. Cars have to stop. And then you smoke a fucking bong and listen to Fish. And then you feel like you're doing something of a higher purpose. You're just wasting time rolling on a board with wheels on it or snowboarding, whatever the fuck you want to do, which is fine. It's a hobby. We all have hobbies. Some people golf. Some people like to go swimming. Some people like to play tennis. We don't walk around like tennis culture and just sit outside with our argon sweater on. Argyle. Thank you. Argyle. Sorry, I misspoke. Argyle sweaters with a little alligator on it or whatever.
Right.
And then drinking gin fizzes. Like, we don't do that.
No.
All right? It's a hobby.
Right.
And so is surfing.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's two types of surfers. Like the doctor that goes surfing on the Friday and he thinks he's cool, or if someone actually is a bum on the beach with a board. I'm like a surf culture. It's not a real thing. Go get a job and surf on the weekends like the rest of us. All right? Thank you very much.
Also, get off Ed's lawn.
Yeah, right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And turn off that new music.
And that was Ed's soapbox.
I don't know why. I think sneakerhead is what's triggered it.
Yeah, it must have been.
And once again, the funny thing is I have no problem with people who collect sneakers. I really don't, because that's not a culture thing.
Well, Ed's been triggered, so now we know that sneakers trigger Ed. Everybody hide their sneakers.
So fucking passionate.
I know, he is.
Because this is a 20-year thought process. Maybe even more. Like, how old am I? I just turned 50. I've turned 57. So 40 years since I was 17 and just hating surfers back then because I couldn't surf. So it definitely comes from a dark place, I admit.
Yeah.
But as I grew and matured, I now realize that, no, I'm right. It's dumb.
Touching a nerve. Jesus Christ.
Jesus. All right. Well, Ed's going to pour himself some more for the Whiskey Tangent podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Ed. Surf all you want, but it's not a lifestyle.
Later.
The best part about this was how much Jeff enjoyed it.
They couldn't even say his name
at the end of the episode. It was so funny. He's like, he's so passionate. Oh, that was a lot of fun, that short.
All right. And then after we did that, we did the Whiskey Madness. We did 5 episodes. We did the wildcard rounds pregame show. We did round 1. Round 2, then round 3, which is all brackets, and then the final pour, which is the semifinals and finals. And we had Anders on again this time after an absence last year. And
I was on for the first 2, but couldn't make it back, which I don't mind because there's no ties when there's 4 of us.
Yeah.
And the ties actually end up making the last 2 episodes very fun.
Yeah.
Gabe had a huge role in round 3 and the final pour.
Yeah, he did. Because we couldn't agree.
Right, even though he has a slanted palate. No, honestly, hats off to Gabe. I don't think Gabe picked anything that was crazy.
No.
Because remember, when he's picking one, Scott and I have already split.
Exactly.
So one of us has already chosen it. Gabe's just breaking the tie, and he pretty much went back and forth between us.
He did. So I actually have
like he does during sex.
Oh, my God. You're not wrong.
Gabe just drove into a tree. So fucking mad right now.
Oh my God. Gabe drives by here, like in front of and he just shouts out his truck window, Scott! And I text him like, I fucking heard you, you bitch. Oh, Gabe's the best.
Oh my God, he is absolutely the best.
All right, so some of the stats I have. So out of the 15 matchups that we had in the entire tournament, we had 7 ties.
Yes, which is crazy. I think it's the most ever.
Maybe 8 upsets.
Yeah,
which is a lot. You and I each picked the winner 11 times, but it wasn't always the same time.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Anders agreed with you once and me never.
Right.
Gabe agreed with me 5 times and with you 4 times.
All right.
And
wow, it's incredibly even.
It is.
Everything about that has been even.
I know, isn't that crazy? Historically, contrary to popular opinion, 4 out of the 6 tournament winners have been number 1 seeds.
Okay. Can you go over them?
Yeah, I can. 2 were number 4 seeds.
Right. Corsair, Dark Rye, and the old line single malt.
That's correct. But no 2 or 3 seeds have ever won. In fact, no 3 seed has ever been in the final 4.
That's crazy.
And only 1 2 seed has. Can you remember which one that was?
There was a 2 seed that made it to the finals.
Yes. Otherwise, it's all 1s and 4s.
I cannot think of it.
It's the Canadian whiskey, Crown Royal XO.
Oh, wow.
They were the number 2. They went against the Corsair Rye.
Wow, what a weird bracket that was that year.
That was the 4th seed in the 2021 Whiskey Madness. We picked the Corsair.
Because it's so different than the
It's so different.
But hey, shout out to the Crown Royal XO for making it to the finals.
Yeah, pretty good. So in 2020, it was a Bullet Rye versus Green Spot.
Right. Was that a 1 and a 1?
They were both 1s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. In 2021, it was what we just said, Crown Royal XO, the 2 seed going against Corsair Rye, the 4th seed. In 2022, we had 2 number 1s again. We had the Larceny Barrel Proof versus Baker's Single Barrel.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, Baker's, all right. Larceny won.
Larceny won, correct. In 2023, we had the old line, the number 4 American Single Malt versus the Remus 6.
And that was definitely a 1 seed.
Yes, that was definitely a 1 seed.
That was a 1 versus a 4. That might be the biggest upset of the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, the Remus is a $100 bottle.
Yeah.
With 6 blended whiskeys in there. And you got the old line made down in Baltimore in a very small distillery.
Yeah. 2024, last year, 2 number 1s. Again, it was the Old Carter Rye versus the Weller
12-year.
12-year bourbon.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Weller 12-year was delicious, but the Old Carter was one of the best whiskeys we've ever tasted on the podcast.
And then this year, of course, it was the 4th seed, the Kinsey Wheat Whiskey, going against the 2XO Bourbon, the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Right. We talked about how Kinsey had a Cabernet finish that made the Final Four the
previous year.
The previous year,
Yeah.
right? So Kinsey's been represented a couple times pretty well.
They have been.
That's a New Liberty distillery in Philadelphia. Anyone in our area, dude, take a trip over there. They have a nice tasting room downstairs and they have a bar upstairs. You have a good time.
And they have a good relationship with Benash. So if you live in and around the
Cherry
Hill area,
Marlton, go to Benash.
And they'll have Kinsey for you.
And lots of barrel picks.
Yeah. All right. So after that, what we do now is the preview of season 13.
Right.
So after the weird sort of off-kilter season 12, where we took a month off and we
doing
went to
much better
Kentucky,
now.
season 13 will be more traditional schedule,
Yes.
probably, which
We hope.
we hope, which likely means 6 full-numbered episodes, 6 news episodes, and 6 shorts or other things. For the episodes, we're going to do 82 through 87. We'll be tasting some more expressions from Lost Lantern.
Yes.
That'll be episode 82. 5 finished whiskeys from small craft distilleries around the country. Episode 83 and 84 might end up being Kentucky Peerless or Freddie Knows Little Book series
I've been
if we
talking
can.
I think Scott agrees. The surprise distillery of the trip was Peerless.
Yep.
And I had such great times in Kentucky, but there's something about Peerless. It just makes you feel like you're in somebody's home. Like they had you over for dinner. They popped open the barrel and gave us this delicious dram out in the warehouse.
With the perfect mix of guided and informality. Like guided, it was a curated tour, but they just let you walk around and do whatever you want. They weren't like, hey, go over here and you can't stand here and
they
do
fit
this.
12 barrels a day.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Bardstown or Four Roses that does 12 barrels at a time.
Right.
And what they do in a year, those places do in maybe a week.
Yeah, definitely doing an episode about them.
It's going to be an amazing episode. We already have 4 bottles. If they want to send us anything else, they can, but we really don't even need it.
No. All right. So episode 85, our cocktail episode for the summer, we are going to do, I've confirmed with Anders, whiskey tiki cocktails, finally. And hopefully with Taylor from Benash. I would like to get her, because it was her idea.
Right.
All right. Episode 86 and 87, which would close out season 13, could end up being one of many things. So all these ideas, we have Stranahan's that we're thinking about doing.
Yes.
I think we could do a Kinsey episode. We have 2 expressions. We could get others. We could maybe talk to them.
Yeah, I think that would be a great thing to do because I think they've earned a right from the performance in the last 2 Whiskey Madnesses that...
For sure. And they're local guys and we've been there.
And we've been there and Benash has a great relationship so we can get contact information from them.
Yeah.
And actually, not that this is going to be the podcast, but we are doing a Redwood Empire tasting with them next week.
Oh, we are.
Or the week after.
Yeah, with Marty and Rachel. Besides that, the other thing that we have in mind, which we will most likely do, is Whiskeys of the Austro-Hungarian Empire with Brian the Whiskey Explorer. He and I have been texting about which whiskeys we might want to do. He bought an Austrian whiskey, and he has a Hungarian spirit, not a whiskey, because apparently Hungary doesn't make whiskey. We could do Croatia, we could do Czech Republic, Italy, Slovakia, Slovenia, Poland, Romania, like any of those places would be okay for doing this.
Yeah.
That's for the episodes. For the shorts and other things, so we're doing our first review of a whiskey subscription service. The people at Blind Barrels reached out to us to send us a tasting kit.
Yes.
So we'll be exploring that and talking to the CEO.
So what that is they send you 4 whiskeys, but they don't tell you what they are. So you taste them, and then you decide if you like them, and then you scan like a barcode or something, and it tells you what you tried.
Right. Doug, we've talked about Doug already.
Yeah.
He's been hounding us to do another Vault episode.
Right.
So we're probably going to do that. Possibly a whiskey wormhole with my friend Bill.
Yes.
He's been hounding me to do that as well.
He has like a Crown Royal from the 50s or
From
something?
the 50s, and he's got another expression too, which I've forgotten.
So, and if he has a Crown Royal from the 50s, we'll get a new one and we'll taste them back to back.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that'll
It'll be fun.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, that's all we have.
Oh, so, yeah, I mean, the thing is, between now and 6 months, we're going to find stuff that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
The most fun part of the podcast is the unknown.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, super unknown. So,
Alive in the super unknown.
So,
Alive in the super unknown.
So, thanks.
First it steals your mind and then it steals your soul. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the crickets back. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in the last 6 months.
Thank you so much.
We promise that the next 6 months are going to be even better, and keep the faith, everybody. So for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
Cheers, everybody.
Later.